Welcome to Cubs Classics, proudly presented by Prevagen. Let's enjoy this game together.
As you know, the Cubs have to take care of their own business first. Matt Clement did that last night. Mark Pryor hopes to do it tonight before a standing room crowd again here at historic Wrigley Field in Chicago. Here's a look at Art Howe, the manager of the Mets.
As we center on Mark Grudzielanek, it's a Lou Lofton and Sosa left to right with Ramirez, Martinez, Grudzielanek, and Simon in the infield. Paul Bacco gets the nod behind the plate, and Mark Pryor on the hill looking for win number 16. Last time out, a rough outing for him, but this year has been a remarkable season. His ERA down to 2.48 on for the 28th start. And look at the walks and strikeout ratio. It's just under 5-1, which is simply otherworldly.
So Pryor, 7-1 in his last 8 starts. Looks at this New York Met lineup tonight. Only Cedeno, Perez, and Wigginton have seen him in his young major league career. And Cedeno's the man that will lead things off. Last night, the Cubs had a very emotional night, as you see the umpiring crew. Not only did they beat the Mets in Game 1 of this series, but the Cubs finally retired number 10. Ron Santos, number 10.
The Cubs are pleased to announce
here was the announcement at Wrigley last night.
Ron Santos, number 10 jersey, will be retired in a pregame ceremony prior to the Sunday, September 28th game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Congratulations, Ron Santos, one of the greatest Cubs of all time.
It was a wonderful moment at Wrigley Field last night. Ron Santos very emotional, very touched, and we couldn't be happier for our colleague in the WGN radio booth. Cubs great and soon to be, we hope, Hall of Famer Ron Santos.
As you can see, Ron has gone to the very colorful shirt selection. We're all going to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" tonight, so he dressed in his finery as Pryor looks in at Cedeno to lead it off here tonight.
Cedeno went 2 for 4 in the game last night, and that's out of play. Beautiful night, 80 degrees, winds out of the southwest at 8 miles per hour. Absolutely gorgeous late summer afternoon today in Chicago. Cedeno hitting .272 with 6 home runs and 36 batted in.
Cedeno's got pretty good speed. He's a switch hitter, better average hitter from the left side, a little more power from the right side, although the home runs evenly divided, 3 from each side.
Ramirez even with the bag at third. Randall Simon at first, and a line drive up the middle starts the game for New York. Leadoff single for Cedeno. That'll bring up Garcia. Garcia was hitless in the series opener last night.
Mark Pryor throws this one on the outer third, and Cedeno takes it right back up the middle. Now Cedeno's swiped 13, been caught 9 times. This team doesn't run too often. Cedeno, however, is one of their 3 base stealers.
That's right through there. Garcia taking over at second base after the Mets traded Robbie Alomar to the White Sox. Garcia, a couple of home runs, has knocked in 5. That's over at the knees. 0-2, the count to him.
The guy we're not going to see tonight is Jose Reyes, who at 20 years old is a can't miss major league star. Switch hitter with power from both sides. He'll be out the rest of this season. We will see him next season and for many years to come.
2 quick strikes to Garcia. No movement at first. And Pryor has his first strikeout. 209 of them this year. Boy, the Cubs pitching staff piling up the strikeouts here in mid-September.
That one up and out of the zone. And the Cubs doing tonight what they usually do. They're poised to strike out over 1,300 men. It'd be the 3rd straight year they do that. Not many staffs in the history of this game have been able to accomplish that 3 straight years.
Timo Perez bats, looks at a ball off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Perez 0 for 3 last night. He too with Less than 5 home runs on the year. He's hit 4 of them and has knocked in 39. Good cut, fouled back.
They don't like to do a whole lot of running ahead of Piazza. This is not a power-laden team. They're gonna have to manufacture some runs. So if you're Art Howe, you're thinking about guessing along with Pryor when he's going to throw that curveball. That's the best pitch to run.
And Mark steps off the rubber. Other playoff game of huge importance. The Marlins are in Philadelphia tonight. Florida with a 1.5-game wild card lead entering play. And the Phillies torched them for 4 in the first. Runner is going. The pitch is bounced right up the middle. Martinez moving toward the bag was able to stop in time to field the baseball. Cedeno moves to second on the ground out, and Mike Piazza hits.
Art Howe stays out in the double play because he shows some motion. If you're with us last night, you saw Dusty Baker very aggressive early. The Mets are trying to do the same thing. You know it's the hit and run when a base runner looks back. He's got to identify where the ball is. Ramon has only one play. He makes it. And now you have to face one of the true great hitters in this league. You figure that Piazza, with great power to right center, is going to have to go that way against Pryor. For Pryor, he knows he can tie up Piazza inside. I don't think Piazza is going to be able to get around on his fastball if he keeps it above the waist and keeps it in.
But as you said last night, one of Piazza's great strengths is his strength and ability to hit the ball a long way the other way. So even if you jam him, he can still hurt you.
Well, he'll bring the hands in and inside out it, and he does have probably as much power as anybody in baseball to the opposite field.
Of course, Piazza missed most of this season with a very bad groin problem. This is his 60th game of the season. That one gets away for a moment, but no advance by Cedeno and 2 strikes from Pryor.
What Mark Pryor has done when he gets 2 strikes is he's gone up and out of the strike zone. This is a good curveball down and away. Good stop by Bacco. No advance on the part of Cedeno.
Big night offensively for Bacco last night. He did a real good job of nursing Matt Clement through 7 innings of work in the series opener. The 2-strike pitch to Piazza. He throws it right by him, and that'll retire the side. No runs, 1 hit. Here come the Cubs against Jay So at Wrigley Field in Chicago.
Need your Chicago sports fix? Marquee Sports Network's got you covered.
I knew from coming here that everybody on the team had that chip on their shoulder.
Tune in weeknights to the stadium for all your Chicago sports breaking news. What do these playoff rankings mean for Notre Dame? Highlights and expert analysis.
Allen Robinson's success and the success of the offense overall are going to be intertwined.
Catch the stadium, your source for Chicago sports news on Marquee Sports Network. Proudly presented by FanDuel. More ways to win.
According to the Environmental Protection Agency, only 32% of recyclable material in the United States makes it into the recycling bin. But an amazing thing happens when you recycle. Things that may have only been single-use can now come back as something new. That recycled plastic can come back as shoes, backpacks, even cabinets and carpeting. You don't need to be a magician to give new life to plastic products. You just need to recycle. Learn more at recyclingfacts.com.
Hello again, everybody.
Let's see if Lofton can get things started here in the bottom of the first. And for the 5th consecutive game, Steve, the Cubs are seeing a new face on that mound.
Well, last night they liked the face they saw. They faced Jeremy Griffiths. 4 hits and 3 runs in the first inning, keyed by Kenny Lofton's base hit.
Lofton beats that ball into the ground, and Garcia kicks it. Lofton, big turn. He's going to try for 2, and he's going to make it. Ball dropped again. What should have been an easy out at first instead turns into a 2-base error.
Only Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati with a worse defense than the Mets. And this one hits off the heel of the glove. Kenny Lofton alertly takes second base. And he's hustling all the way on the play, knowing they've got no chance to get him at second.
So there's a break, and now Mark Grudzielanek a chance to put the Cubs in front. All Mark has done is record 10 hits in his last 18 at bats. And he shows bunt, and he pushes it toward Phillips. That gets away from him, and everybody's safe.
That one goes to sacrifice E3.
Art House looking for a total do-over, and the Cubs very happy with 1st and 3rd and nobody out.
Good bunt by Grudzielanek, and the rest of this play is downright ugly. So the Cubs trying to take advantage of the fact that this very young, inexperienced Met team is not playing real well.
And let's see if Sammy can start to heat it up. Sammy has not swung the bat as effectively as he would like. Just 3 hits on the homestand.
Well, he's going to have a big night tonight. He knows that So cannot throw it by him. If he sits and looks off-speed pitch, he's going to hurt him. The wind, what little there is blowing straight out. And Sammy's due for one of those hot streaks.
You bet. 1st and 3rd for the Cubs. And that's off the plate for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes.
Jay So should have 2 out, nobody on. Instead, he has 2 on and nobody out.
One and 0, the count to Sosa. Swing, and that's hammered down the left field line and out of play.
That's the curveball that didn't do much, and unfortunately for Sammy, got out a little too quickly on it. As you can see, when you hang them there, you've got some problems.
Billy and Shirley Williams enjoying the game tonight. As the Cubs again try to break in front here in the 1st. Interesting note on Jay So. Bobby Valentine was one of the men that signed the kid out of Gwangju, South Korea. That was back in 1997. And it took So 5 years to get to the big leagues. But here he is with a record of 8-11. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Sammy Sosa here in the Cubs' 1st inning. Over but low. 2-2 your count. Looks, Tony, like there's a big group of Mets fans sitting just to the right of the hitter's background in right center field.
Either that or they're celebrating Halloween.
Quite possible, yeah.
Well, maybe Sammy can give him a souvenir if So stays away.
Close play at first. Grudzielanek, remember, got picked off last night. Could be Illinois football fans too.
No reason to stray too far with Sammy up, and Moises Alou on deck.
2-2. Broken bat roller. That might be 2. 1 at second. And it gets away from Phillips. Sosa's safe. A run is in. It's 1-0 Cubs. As the Mets defense here in this first inning, in a word, has been atrocious.
Well, Sammy gets a run batted in. That's number 93. And he broke Phillips's glove. That relay from Garcia to Phillips just went right through the webbing. This should have been 2. It's not. And the Cubs are getting, well, they're going to have at least 5 outs this inning, possibly more before this inning is over.
You sure that's Phillips, or is that Bono from U2? I can't tell. Here's Alou.
Very rarely see the ball. I mean, Dunston threw real hard.
Yeah.
I never saw it go right through Mark Grace's glove. And Garcia has a good arm, but not that good.
Line drive into left field. Perez handles the sinking line drive, and that nearly was played into another runner aboard here in this first inning. 2 outs, runner at first. Here's Randall Simon, who plated his first 2 Wrigley Field RBIs since joining the Cubs last night.
Well, here's the hardest hit ball of the inning, and it's the first time that the Met defense have been able to secure the out without some histrionics. And Moises a little unhappy with that. He hit the ball as hard as you can hit it, but the sinking line drive was handled by Perez.
Randall Simon at 277 on the year. And he pops the first pitch up behind the plate. Piazza will put the squeeze on it, and the Mets defense gives the Cubs an unearned run in the first inning. 1-0 our score as we head to the top of the second.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
You've been on the edge of your seat.
Monsters of the Midway are in absolute force.
You've held your breath through the final seconds.
23 putting it up. He sends it deep to left.
You've been there for the thrill of victory.
Chicago recovers. The drought is over. Chicago's won it all.
And we'll be with you for that next magic moment. You can bet on it. Bet Rivers, Chicago's hometown sportsbook.
Like some of my 46-foot breaking balls.
If it bounces up there, the odds of you getting hurt are probably a whole lot less, right?
That's true.
Pretty big crowd in our WGN skybox at Wrigley Field tonight. I thought, Steve, I saw Tony Colosimo, but I can't be sure. It's been so long since I've seen Tony, I hardly recognize him. 1 ball, 1 strike to Phillips. Heads off the plate at 2-1.
Jason Phillips will have some Rookie of the Year consideration, hitting over 300. He's driven in 56.
That one driven to right. Sammy broke in. Now has to hustle back. Can't make the play. And that's off the base of the wall. Wind blowing out, and that shot surprised Sosa in right field. Runner at second. Nobody out for New York.
We'll watch it again. Line drive to right field. And just one false step in, and you have very little chance to recover with the wind blowing straight out. So it goes as a 2-base hit. And now Wigginton, who is a dead pull hitter, will be trying to move him along. Normally, Wigginton pulls everything.
He was 0 for 4 last night. He struck out, bounced to first, grounded to third, and struck out again in the 9th to end the game. Cubs get an unearned first inning run to lead by a run. Mets though threatening again in the second. Well, there are big games all around the major leagues tonight. This is certainly one of them. The Cubs game and a half out. Houston's in Colorado. Phillies have added a run to lead 5-0 over Florida. That's the first of 6 games in the final 12 between the Marlins and Phillies at the end of the season.
Well, Larry Bowen knows it's do or die time for the Phillies. They have to take the home field advantage while they have it.
2 balls, 1 strike. Now 2-2. Milwaukee didn't score in the first. I think the Cardinals have gotten at least 3 in their half of the first inning. So they lead at Busch Stadium. Big American League game. White Sox opening up a critical 3-game series in Minnesota tonight. White Sox did not score in the first. 2-2 pitch to Wigginton. Needs to move the runner to third, and he can't do it. Pryor has his 3rd strikeout. Here's Valendia, the shortstop.
This one up and out of the strike zone. Mark Pryor is getting a lot of mileage off that high fastball.
Valendia hitting .212. He took over when the man Steve mentioned, Reyes, went down. Injured his ankle sliding into second base, and he will be lost for the rest of the regular season for New York. They have had a injury marred year. Mo Vaughn is down. Pedro Estacio got hurt. Cliff Floyd is out. Scott Strickland out of their bullpen. Then the big trades of Alomar, Burnitz, Graham Lloyd, and Armando Benitez have totally changed the look of this New York ball club, and frankly the results made that necessary. This has been an unmitigated disaster for New York National League Baseball fans this year.
It was a very high priced team that underachieved, and now it's back to the drawing board.
1-0 count to Valendia. Pryor ahead of that pitch as Don Baylor back here in Chicago. Great to see Don. Feeling great. Looking great. And when asked about commenting on what went right, what went wrong here in Chicago, Don said, look, I've moved past that. It's time to look forward rather than look back. But it is great to see him back here in Chicago, and wish him and Becky all the best. Two balls and a strike to Valendia. Pryor wants a new baseball and will get one with a 3-1 count.
Should be fairly difficult for the bottom part of this order to do much scoring against Mark Pryor, because they're all right-hand hitters, and normally when Pryor's right, he dominates the right-handers.
Three balls and a strike to Valendia. And they're at first and second. So Jeff Duncan's going to hit. And Mark Brady, our associate producer, tells us that those fans in center field are folks from Harvey, Illinois, out to support their hometown hero. And so they hoot and holler, and the fans behind them boo him into submission.
Duncan with one home run, hitting 192. His best asset, great speed.
And a big fan club. 2 on with 1 out. 1 ball, no strikes. Duncan had a bunt hit last night. And Pryor uncharacteristically wild tonight. 2-0. Uh-oh, ball 3. Pitcher waiting on deck. A 3-0 count to Duncan.
Well, now if you're Duncan, even though you're hitting below 200, you know you're going to see a fastball. And if Mark Pryor will keep it away, Duncan's going to hit it, if he hits it at all, to the left side.
A double play ends the inning. And now the 3-1. Fly ball into center field. That'll be caught. Kenny the catch. No advance. 2 out. Well, Duncan got a pitch to handle and he couldn't find a gap. And now Jay So will hit with first and second, 2 outs.
I don't think he'll be able to turn on a Pryor fastball all night, so they positioned him as an off-field hitter, and that's where he lifted the lazy fly ball. So hasn't hit very well, and Mark Pryor can get out of this inning by retiring a guy that comes in hitting 111.
Fly ball again. Lofton has to go back now, and Pryor's out of the second inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. Cubs lead it 1-0 in the middle of the second inning.
A great crowd on hand today for a nail biter. They'll need a lift here in the 8th, trailing. The rookie stands in. Here's the pitch. It's gone on a home run.
Great things begin in the garage. Still and Lober, building quality garages since 1947. For a limited time, receive a free garage door opener with the purchase of a new garage. Visit garagebuilder1.com or call 708-544-8383.
At Leader Automotive, we don't follow, we lead. Our #1 priority is to give you the best car buying experience possible. You can feel the difference the moment you walk into one of our dealerships. And it's not just selling you a car, it's following it up with world-class customer service. That's what leaders do. That's the Leader Automotive Group. Come visit us or go to leaderauto.com.
Leader Automotive Group, together we lead.
Well, in case you didn't realize it, with last night's Cub victory, the all-time head-to-head series, courtesy of our Illinois Lottery Fun Fact, is all even at 320 and 320.
And if they ever meet in Tokyo again, they're still both 500 clubs.
I think we should fly after the game tonight to Tokyo, play the rubber match, and then come back.
Now there's a good idea.
Yeah, see, I thought you'd like that. Seeing as how you haven't experienced the Far East, here's Ramirez going to work first. And that's off the facade of the roof to the right side, strike 1.
I'm hoping to do that this offseason, as a matter of fact. I'm going to Far East Mesa.
You've always been known as a man that's willing to broaden his horizon.
To Tia Rosa's and have the finest fish tacos in the country.
What about Awatuki?
And visit our portly detective?
Yeah. Is he watching tonight, you think?
Yeah, I think he's, well, I have no doubt that he's watching, immersed knee-deep in Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
Krispy Kremes. 1-1. Fly ball hit to right center field. That's pretty deep. Duncan and Cedeno going back on the track. That ball is off the fence, and Ramirez has a leadoff double.
Just get it up in the air tonight, and you've got a pretty good shot. So throws a changeup. We told you that's his specialty. Well, he didn't fool Ramirez, and Duncan goes back right by his fan club, and they've got a good shot of him missing this one.
I wonder if they booed him. Here's Martinez.
Ooh, are you kidding? That's a very enthusiastic group out there.
And brave, too. Wearing the Mets colors in the bleachers. And Ramon Martinez gets a start here tonight. He'll try to get the ball to the right side and move Ramirez to third base. Cubs leading by a run, an unearned first inning run.
Cedeno has a pretty good arm in right field. It's not a great right fielder's arm, but it's pretty good. You're going to run on Perez. You're going to run on Duncan.
That ball ticketed toward left center field. Duncan on the run. Fine running catch. No advance by Ramirez. And Baco will hit with one away. Paul had a couple of hits, including his third triple of the year last night. So he's raised his average to 231. So East Mesa is going to be about the limits of your off-season travels, huh?
Well, that's the Far East. That's right down the road from the Cubs spring training headquarters, where the Ho-Ho Cams treat us so very well, and the spring training facilities are just wonderful.
Fastball at the belt for Baco. One strike, your count.
And you do know that spring training is right around the corner.
That it is. Pickoff play and nearly into center field. Velandia with a good effort. Oh, and 2. Minnesota gets a first inning run off Esteban Loaiza tonight. They lead 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Brad Radke going for the Twins.
Twins have won 3 in a row. Normally they're dominant at home. This hasn't been one of their better home years, however. They're just 7 over 500. Still tough to beat there.
Baco called out on strikes. And now Pryor will hit with 2 down.
Piazza wants it up. This one tailing right back over the plate, just under the letters. Southwest Airlines Plainview camera would take a look at a ball that had the whole plate, and Mark Wegner thought it was just the right spot.
Mark looks for his 7th RBI of the year. 0-1 the count to him. Toronto blasting the Tigers 6-2 in the 7th. Detroit has lost 111 games. Coming into play tonight. 0-2. Boston leads Tampa Bay 1-0 in the 6th. Kansas City 11-4 leading after 4 in Cleveland. And the Yankees and Orioles tied at 1 after 5. Ramirez led off this second inning with a 2-base hit off the center field wall. And now Pryor and the Cubs down to their final strike. And the inning comes to a close. Leadoff double wasted. Cubs 1, New York 0, heading to the top of our 3rd.
Good things come in Warby Parker glasses. Yes, in the glasses. You see, these lenses are scratch resistant, anti-reflective, and UV protective. So are these lenses. And these. These too. In fact, all of our lenses come that way, for free. And in these glasses, blue light filtering lenses. Clear, huh? You can add them to any frame for just $50. So that's the good stuff. Try our lenses risk-free for 30 days or try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
From dugout chatter to meetings at the mound, to BP chatter around the cage, chatter is such an intrinsic part of the game. It's the player-to-player water cooler office discussion. Except this chatter happens under the bright lights of 40,000 fans and across living rooms everywhere. 80 years since the passing of Lou Gehrig, we celebrate his accomplishments and focus on finding a cure for ALS. Join Stephen Piscotty and the ALS Cure Project. Let's create ALS chatter.
One thing that's always on our mind when it comes to players, ownership, is why can't they just get along?
Two things that have been constant since the 19th century are there's never enough left-handed pitching and the owners never make enough money. It's a question of, how much money they wish to retain.
94, 95, it was such a devastating period for sport.
I'm going to be tough in my negotiation, and I think they'll break.
Two Mets errors in the first plate the first Cub run, and Cedeno hits that ball a ton into center field. Lofton will turn and watch that sail out of the ballpark. First home run for Cedeno since the 21st of August. And he ties the game at 1. To Duncan's fan club, and the crowd booing them because they won't throw the baseball back.
First ball fastball for the second time in 3 innings. Cedeno hits one right on the button. And the Duncan fan club has a souvenir.
Here's Danny Garcia. He struck out his first time up.
For Pryor, that's the 14th home run he's given up this year in 191 innings, and that's a pretty low total.
Late swing, and that's rocketed back into the seats. Hope everybody's all right. 0-2 your count. Hear the bleacher fans?
Now the whole stadium is yelling to throw it back.
And it's the guy in the blue shirt. He's not yielding. Oh, that's great. That's a man with the courage of his convictions.
He will not bend to peer pressure. Somebody's going to slip him another baseball.
One away as Garcia goes down. 4th strikeout for Pryor. Yeah, that's how it works out there. Usually the fans will keep the real baseball and they'll have a fake one in their pocket to heave back onto the field of play.
Good fastball in the inner portion for the second time in as many at bats. Garcia goes down on strikes.
Here's Perez. He grounded to the shortstop. That's down the left field line, but into the seats. Atlanta's in Montreal. They've finally broken through Stoney with 2 in the 7th. Greg Maddux starting that game for the Braves, and if he's the recipient of that lead and they can hold it, he'll set a record tonight. It'll be his 15th win of the year, and it'll make 16 consecutive years for Maddux with 15 or more. Better than even Cy Young, who did it 15 years in a row.
One disadvantage for Maddux, he does not have John Smoltz at the end to nail it down.
You know who's been closing for them? Former Cub Will Kinane.
He had a tough outing last time. Other than that, he's thrown the ball well.
Smoltz on the DL with tendonitis in his elbow. He went to the doctors in Birmingham as Pryor punches out Perez. No structural damage in the elbow. They don't think there'll be any problem for Smoltz as he's getting ready for the postseason. 2 away.
This is the same pitch that struck out Paul Bacco from the Southwest Airlines Plainview camera. Mark Wegner thought it was good enough. And Mark Pryor with his 5th strikeout of the night.
He got Piazza to end the first. Right now, Mike doesn't have him timed real well. 0-1 the count to the Met catcher. High fly ball, center field, not deep enough. Lofton drifting back, and that'll retire the side. Leadoff home run from Cedeno ties our game. 1-1 the score.
Hi, my name is Sherry. I'm 76 and I live on the Oregon coast. My husband Sam, we've been married 53 years. We love to walk on the beach, have 2 daughters and then 2 granddaughters. I noticed that memories were not there like they were when I was much younger. Since taking Prevagen, my memory has gotten better, and it's like the puzzle pieces have all been put together.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
What gets you out of bed in the morning? For me, it's you. I love helping my neighbors. My dream is to help you realize yours. You're my neighbors, my friends. So for me, banking is so personal.
As the top of the order comes up, that means Kenny Lofton's hitting first. Great pitching matchup, Steve, and the wrap up tomorrow. Kerry Wood for the Cubs, Al Leiter going for the Mets.
With the Cubs averaging 5 runs per game on this particular sequence against brand new starters. They get 5 tonight, it should be enough, and the Cubs will then look for the sweep. But Al Leiter, a pretty tough customer.
That almost clipped Kenny on the way by.
Al Leiter 14-8 with a team that's well below 500. Lofton turning out of the way at the last instant. It's real easy to say take one for the team. It's a little tougher to do it.
Down he goes on strikes. 1 up, 1 down in the 3rd. We saw Al Leiter in the 2nd game of the year up in New York. Gave up 1 run in 6 innings.
Well, the 2 great years, Al Leiter, Steve Traxel. Traxel 15-9 and Leiter 14-8. And that's for a team that's 63-86.
We were talking to the Mets broadcasters before the game last night, and you and I have talked about it a lot. We were both very surprised that Al Leiter is still a Met. Not that they didn't want to keep him, but not that the other teams wouldn't consider trying to overpay to get him. He's that talented.
He would have been a wonderful guy to have for the last couple months of the season. An overpowering lefty, a great guy on your ball club, and a pitcher that really understands what it takes to win. But he's still a Met.
And the Cubs will face him tomorrow. They're having enough trouble with Jay So here tonight. The run the Cubs have is an unearned run. Just 1 hit. That was the double leading off the 2nd for Ramirez. Martinez, Bacco, and Pryor could not bring him around. Chopped slowly toward 3rd. Wigginton's going to have to hurry, and he can't make a bare hand play. Infield hit for Grudzielanek.
With 2 strikes and Wigginton back in third, you got very little chance on this one. The bare hand do-or-die pickup. So Grudzielanek aboard with his first hit. Just the second for the Cubs.
That'll bring up Sammy. He got an RBI when the Mets couldn't complete a double play in the first inning. He hit a ground ball to the shortstop. Melania fielded cleanly, flipped to Garcia, who fired to first. The ball broke the glove of Phillips. That allowed Lofton to score and Sosa to reach. Grudzielanek a good lead. And Sammy hits a towering fly ball. Center field deep. Duncan as far as he can go. A 2-run homer for Sosa. Three RBI night for Sammy. 95 on the year, and the Cubs back in front.
We talked about this matchup in the first inning. The fact that So can't throw the fastball by Sosa. He hit a towering fly ball to center. The wind not much of a factor. And Sammy hit it out, number 35.
That moves Sosa into 11th place all time, tied with Jimmy Fox. 534 home runs for Sosa. It's the first home run for the Cubs in over 5 games. And the first for Sammy in 9 days. So it's a 3-1 ball game here in our 3rd inning of play. Next up for Sammy, Mickey Mantle. And then he'll crack the top 10. Three balls, no strikes to the left fielder, Moises Alou.
You'd have to figure that Moises would get the 3-0 green light. And if he gets one middle in, it'll be back-to-back home runs because he was right on the fastball in the first inning.
That one hit like a bullet to left field. Second time through the order, a whole lot more productive for the Cubs.
Well, didn't go out of the park, but he hit it as hard as he could hit it with the 3-0 green light. Sammy knows he got this one. That put the Cubs on top 3-1. So this inning's so not fooling anybody. And how far did it fly? 391 happy feet.
Sammy didn't hop on that.
Well, he got it real high. He wasn't too sure.
Simon sends a shot left center field. Duncan on the run on the track. He'll have room this time. 2 outs. Randall gave it a ride. And maybe a little earlier tonight, that one would have gone.
Simon gets this one out on the end of the bat and just misses hitting it out of the park.
Here's Aramis. He doubled off the fence. His first and only time up. 3-1 Cubs lead in the 3rd. Want to wish our head groundskeeper at Wrigley Field, Roger Baer, man that does such a great job of keeping the field of play and the ivy looking so lush, so green, so inviting on a daily basis. Roger celebrating his 43rd birthday today. So Roger, thanks for a great job this year and many happy returns. Happy 43rd birthday tonight. Alou virtually atop the first base bag. Want to wish Betty Turvis a speedy recovery. She was unable to come to the game tonight, but some of her friends thinking of her tonight. Congratulations to the Kapinski family, a new arrival. Their son Frankie born a couple of days ago. And Ramirez pops out to the shortstop And that'll retire the side. 2 runs, 3 hits. Sosa hits his 35th homer. He's driven in all 3 Cub runs. And Mark Pryor now staked 2. A 2-run lead. It's a 3-1 ball game.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
They're just kids. Hungry, homeless, and vulnerable. Abused kids often feel safer on the street. Now, more than ever, that's the most dangerous place of all. Covenant House is rescuing and protecting kids during this COVID-19 crisis. We're providing safe shelter to thousands, but the need is overwhelming, and no child is ever turned away. Please call or go online now with your gift of $19 a month to help a homeless child. You'll provide safe shelter, hot meals, and medical care. Your gift will show our kids they're loved. Homeless kids are afraid and alone, with nowhere else to turn.
You want to know that there's somewhere you can go that's safe. So the Covenant House did that for us.
Please call now. With your gift of $19 a month, we'll send you this soft, comforting blanket to show you're helping our kids. Please don't wait. In our national crisis, your gift is the lifeline a child needs. Please call or go online to safeplacetosleep.org now. Thank you for saving precious lives.
Ready, set, let's go! Remember playing with friends? Let's do that. Outside fun with family? More of that, please. Mom's still wearing PJs. That's awesome. Glad we're all staying healthy. Grandpa seems happier too. Together, let's live well. Advocate Aurora Health.
Cubs take a 3-1 lead on Sammy Sosa's 35th home run of the year. And now Jason Phillips to work for New York in the 4th. And he hits a rope into left field for a leadoff single. Top of the hour here in Chicago. Top of the 4th as well. Let's pause for station identification. Stoney, seems to me they're swinging at a lot of first pitch fastballs, are these New York Mets?
Well, certainly the scouting report is that Mark Pryor is around the plate with most everything, and they're going up there looking first ball fastball.
Which, if luck is on your side, I would imagine as a pitcher you don't mind a bit.
Well, what you don't want to see happen if you're facing Mark Pryor is get in a situation where he can wipe you out with that curveball. So they're going up there trying to look for something in the zone early, and if they get something straight, they're hitting it fairly hard.
1 strike to Wigginton. Good breaking ball has him behind in the count, 0-2. And the reason I would think pitchers don't mind early swings in the count when you're getting outs with it, it adds up to very quick and easy innings. I mean, that's been the calling card of Greg Maddux for 15, 16 years.
And but the difference is that Pryor is a power pitcher and going to strike out a whole lot more people. But if he gets Wigginton to hit the ball on the ground, they'll turn 2. Although Wigginton has deceptive speed for a big man.
One and 2 the count. And it's even now at 2-2. Uncharted territory for Mark Pryor. 191 innings for Pryor this season now.
Well, we'll probably see the curveball because, number one, he can wipe him out with it. Worst case scenario, you get the ground ball.
It was tipped, but Baco couldn't handle it. And ricochets off the umpire.
He goes to the curveball. Wigginton just barely able to stay alive, as is Mark Wegner. So I chose to be an umpire, says Mark.
Two. Pryor had him behind 0-2. Now it's full 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, Phillips has no speed at all. If he sends him, it'll be an upset.
Not going. There's the big breaking ball. 6 strikeouts for Mark Pryor tonight. He's really mixing up his pitches nicely so far. 1 on, 1 out for Valendia.
Cubs just 4 away from 1,300. And although it's a wonderful accomplishment, what it does show you is that this lineup, both in the rotation and the pen, is dominating. They're a power pitching lineup, and normally it'll go 1 through 12 pitchers deep, all able to strike you out. Matt Clement at 13-11. And it's well balanced. Pryor looking for his 16th. Kerry Wood with 12. Zambrano with 13. It's pretty good production out of the starting rotation.
2 balls, no strikes to Jorge Valandia. All 3. They'll be getting going here in a minute down in Denver, Colorado. We'll keep you updated on the Astros and Rockies. Cubs are hoping that the Rockies can play good baseball at home. 45-27 at Coors, 23-55 on the road. That's why. Cubs a game and a half behind the Stros. 3-1 pitch. Runs it full, 3-2.
Art Howe, if you can read his lips, says the ball's high, but Wegner's been calling the high strike all night, Art. Should come as no surprise at this point.
Phillips leads at first. Not going. And the pitch lined again into left field. Alou plays that on a hop. First and second, 1 out. Valendia's aboard for the 2nd time in the game. And here's Duncan, the center fielder.
What you're seeing, Chip, is a pitcher that's feeling the effects of a very long season. He's up close to 200 innings. Right now his arm isn't quite as crisp. Hopefully he doesn't have a blister. And if he does, that's cause for concern. Larry Rothschild's coming out to have a word with him. Mark Pryor's still giving up just 1 run. But you can tell about 40-50 innings ago, when he'd throw that fastball, it would just explode and have that little natural hop to it. And right now it's flattening out somewhat, so you're going to have to hit your spots a little bit better than depending on just the natural movement.
Well, you made the point down in San Juan that Mark showed he was human against the Expos. 10 hits, 3 runs, and 5 innings and 2/3. A night where he was not pleased with his performance. A lot of other pitchers would have been, for he kept the Cubs in the game. But it's the cumulative effect of all those innings that he pitched since coming off the DL. Lots of 7, 8 innings shutout, 1-run performances for Pryor.
Well, don't forget also, and he was out a month, probably missing, you would say, 6 starts. So put another 6 on the arm you're looking at right now, and the Cubs might have caught a very good break that Mark Pryor missed a month of the season. Because this being his first year, it's really hard to adjust to it.
1 strike to Duncan. And that's popped up out of play.
And I say not first year in organized ball, but first major league full season. And when you are going to wind up with 215 or 20 innings, it's a real difficult thing to keep the life in your arm the entire way.
You did it. You went through that same kind of experience that Mark Pryor is going through. How do you should see Mark nibbling on that index finger. How do you keep that arm fresh, and how do you overcome what apparently you think he's going through now?
Well, I think, and Mark Pryor is very quick to adjust. I think he's a real smart pitcher with great pitcher's acumen. What he has to do is realize, and sometimes you're the last one to know, that you don't have quite as much life on your fastball as you did before. Consequently, you've got to concentrate more than ever on location, because there's really 2 ways to fool a hitter: velocity and location. Mark Pryor throws, at this point of his career, most everything with the same speed: a hard fastball and a hard breaking ball. They're probably within 94 for the fastball, let's say, 78 to 80 for the curveball. So now if you can guess the velocity, the only way you can be fooled is location. When you miss your location, you might have a problem. But Pryor's a good enough pitcher with a good enough idea about how to change locations, up, down, in, out, that he'll make the adjustment.
But from the standpoint of what we see pitchers go through at the end of spring training, that dead arm period, or as in the case of Pryor, or any young pitcher who gets closer to 200 innings for the first time as a professional, how do you mentally get through that, and how do you physically get through it? Did he offer at that ball? They say he did swing at it. The ball gets away,
and the runner,
the runners are going to advance. It was not tipped.
The hitter is out, and the runners can advance.
Correct. So that's a strikeout, the 7th of the game for Pryor.
Well, he asked me how he's going to adjust. You just have to tough it out. They're going to send him back and say that it was a dead ball, and Chip, if it hit him after he swung, then it is a dead ball. I don't know. I didn't know if it hit him or not, and they're going to appeal to see if it did indeed hit him.
Now the Cubs got a break on a play very similar to this earlier this season. I think it might have been in that Cardinals series. And it might have been Fernando Vina when he swung and missed at a ball and it hit him. It was a dead ball.
Right.
The runner could not score.
I wasn't sure if it hit him or not. I thought he was calling just a swing and the ball got by. And what Wegner is saying is he appealed, and I think Tim Welke said that it did catch a piece of him. It did hit him. If that's the case, you get the strikeout and the runners can't advance.
So the runners will move back to first and second. Let's take a look and see if indeed the ball does hit him.
Well, it's hard to tell, but it looked like it might have clipped a piece of his back foot. I think it did, because you see the redirection.
So it's a strikeout, dead ball, runners first and second instead of second and third with 2 outs.
Well, give Mark Wegner a little credit too, because it wasn't how quickly you call it, but he listened to Tim Welke. He saw it a little bit better, because Wegner was looking for the swing, not necessarily the ball hitting, in this case, Duncan.
And Paul Bacco argued as well, and his pleas were heard and agreed with. So the Cubs get a break for the moment. And Pryor now facing the opposing pitcher has Jay So down 2 strikes. Cubs getting a lot of early breaks in this game. The 0-2.
And you ask how a pitcher gets by it. At this point of the year, adrenaline's going to go a long way toward getting you by it, and then you just tough it out. Mark Pryor is a very big, strong young man. He will overcome the fact that his arm is tired. I mean, that's what happens at the end of the season to everybody. Your arm just gets a little tired.
1 ball, 2 strikes to So. Little ground ball, broke his bat. Simon will take it to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. Pryor has struck out 7 through 4 innings of play, and he's got a 3-1 lead.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 compromise.
Wherever your journey takes you this winter, get away with our best deals of the season. Right now, get huge savings on the entire lineup of award-winning Hyundai vehicles at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. With new cars arriving just in time for the holidays, it's the perfect time to get a Hyundai. Now, choose 0% APR financing or sign and drive on our most popular models. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Meet Bob Minetti, loving husband, father, and pancreatic cancer survivor.
I'm so glad I learned what was possible for me.
To learn more about the latest research, including clinical trials, visit pancreaticcancercollective.org.
Martinez, Baco, and Pryor coming up in the 4th against Jay So. Out of play for a second quick strike.
This Met team is going to have to choose a general manager. A lot of people feel that Dan Duquette has shown enough since the firing of Steve Phillips to probably stay on. That will be determined, but he knows the team. He watched these guys come up through the system, and by and large he's done a real good job in a very difficult situation for the Mets.
How liberally do you think they will enter the free agent market again after the experiment with Mo Vaughn, which has not worked out? Mo has got a very bad knee. He was in very poor shape. Tom Glavine, a losing season this year with the Mets. They've shedded some of that payroll, and they're in a life and death struggle for the back page of this New York tabloids with the Yankees, who are bidding for another World's Championship.
I think they're going to have to take a long, hard look at what the payroll is going into next year. We don't know that. They're going to have to determine where they want to go and just how many building blocks they feel they have.
Broken bat back to the mound. Martinez 0 for 2. Baco caught looking his first time. Hits here in the home half of the 4th.
It's a tough job when you've made long-term commitments to guys who are not going to be around. And that's what the Mets found themselves doing. They've got Glavine, Leiter, and Traxel coming back, which is a pretty good threesome as far as the starting rotation is concerned. They would love to get a bona fide closer. Right. That's going to be hard to do. They got the great setup men, and now it's a bullpen by committee. They committed some big dollars to Stanton. They'd love to get Estacio back and healthy. But they're not big on rebuilding programs in New York. It's a high revenue team. Fans have phenomenal expectations, and they're looking across at the Bronx, where the Yankees are in first place by 5.5 games, and that doesn't escape Fred Wilpon in his pursuit of excellence. So Fred has taken over the club. He was co-owner, as you might remember, right, with Nelson Doubleday. Now Fred has it himself with his sons, and they'll eventually figure it out. They have a lot of resources.
You mentioned last night their farm system, thought by many to be one of the best in Major League Baseball right now.
They've got a whole lot of talent up and down the system. The question is, will they take the next step, right, and how quickly?
You You remember the Isringhausen, Pulsifer, and Wilson triumvirate that they were touting a decade or so ago as the next great three for the New York Mets pitching rotation. Injuries sidetracked all three of them. And now Isringhausen closing for the Cardinals. Paul Wilson pitching for the Cincinnati Reds, and Pulsifer, I believe, out of baseball. That's over the inside corner, 2 outs.
It's the second time in many his bats that Paul Bacco has looked at strike 3 in approximately the same spot.
Here's Pryor. He looks at a ball inside. Good news. The Rockies behind a Todd Helton base hit in the first inning. He plates Ronnie Belliard. And it's 1-0 Colorado. Go Rockies go.
They're going to have to score a lot tonight. That Houston offense in high gear.
One ball, one strike to Pryor. And a big happy birthday to Kia Carter, daughter of former Cub Joe Carter, enjoying the ball game here at Wrigley Field today. So hope Kia's doing well in her studies at Northwestern University and spending some of Dad's money. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Especially out of state at Northwestern.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Joe's just going to have to hustle a little more with the golf clubs.
The 2-2 pitch is bounced off the plate up the middle. Bad hop. Volandi is stuck with it, and Phillips with the stretch at first makes a fine play. Very good defensive effort by the Mets here in the 4th inning. We have a 3-1 Cub lead going to the 5th.
Get the COVID vaccine. It's easy to do, and it protects you from the virus. Do it for yourself and for the ones you love. Without the vaccine, you risk serious illness or worse. And if we stand together and do our part, we will beat the pandemic. The vaccine is safe, it's effective, and it's our shot at a brighter tomorrow. To learn more, visit aah.org/vaccine. Advocate Aurora Health.
Since 1999, Smile Train has helped millions of kids like Ever. Kids born with a cleft get the life-changing care they need so they can write their full smile story. Learn more at smiletrain.org/learn.
Our fellow Americans.
Right now, the COVID-19 vaccines are available to millions of Americans.
And soon, they will be available to everyone.
The science is clear. These vaccines will protect you and those you love from this dangerous and deadly disease.
They could save your life.
So we urge you to get vaccinated when it's available to you.
That's the first step to ending the pandemic and moving our country forward. It's up to you.
Behind every sport, there is a business that drives it.
The total of that plus operation was $100,000 a day.
Forbes Sports Money goes inside the numbers.
I took the deal in equity
to explore the financial side of the games you love.
It's been very successful for us.
Forbes Sports Money. New episodes every month right here on Marquee Sports Network.
They mean when they say what goat? You don't think they're taking a subtle shot at the veteran Spieler down to the left of our broadcast?
Oh, they are. The man that we affectionately call the old goat, Ron Santo. And I emphasize affectionately, seeing as he's a very strong man.
That's true. And he'll be in here in the 7th inning to defend his honor, as it were. Cedeno comes a calling.
Speaking about his honor, I had a chance to be at a luncheon today with Mayor Daley. He gave a very interesting speech talking about education in the city of Chicago, which is, in the end, one of the most important things, the most important obligation we have to the youngsters of this city. And as you know, he is sitting back and waiting for that all-Chicago World Series.
I was going to ask you,
knowing what it would mean to this city.
Well, I know how much he loves the White Sox. Were you able to, as Cedeno hits a one-hop rocket to second, were you able to get Mayor Daley to consider a dual allegiance in the spirit of postseason play for Chicago?
I think I converted him. I'm not sure.
That'd be news.
Being a lifelong Sox fan and all, but he is a lifelong fan of Chicago and knows just exactly what either team being in the World Series would mean to this great city.
By the way, I'm sure you extended your perfect record of not picking up the check for that particular lunch.
Too many people there. Oh, I was running from that.
It's a party of one. It's too many for you. 1 ball, no strikes to Garcia, who's been struck out twice. Astros have tied the game on a Richard Hidalgo home run.
Well, I will tell you, Colorado better score a lot of runs tonight.
Yeah, Houston's offense in high gear, and that one hit a mile high by Garcia to left. Alou running toward the well has enough room, but he mistimed his jump, and Garcia in at second, hustling all the way, reaches on a line drive double to left. A very poor throw from Lofton. Luckily Pryor backed it up, and Garcia's at second with 1 out. What happened on that play?
Well, Moises drifted back and he thought he had some room. He found himself at the track. The wind was blowing out, and in the end just came up a little short. Well, he missed it.
Not much else you can say as Perez bats now with 1 on 1 out. He's grounded out and struck out tonight.
And the throw coming in was aimed right at Matt Galante, who refused to catch it, seeing as he's the third base coach. But fortunately there was no advance.
And Pryor didn't spectate, he participated. Kept Garcia out at second base. Nunes and Maria Tichy celebrating their 36th wedding anniversary. Those greetings come from their son and daughter, Dante and Danielle, tonight.
And big time insurance executive Jill Estep looking on. She wanted to be here with us tonight to see the 4 tenors sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," but she's watching on WGN.
Fisted back toward us. The 4 tenors are 4 2.5ers.
4 tenors. Tonight 3 tenors and a frog.
You just gotta love the late summer allergy season. There's nothing quite like it.
My sister Deborah is looking on in Denver, and she's about ready to celebrate a birthday. The check's in the mail.
Oh, please.
You don't believe that?
No.
Well, how about an audio birthday greeting? Happy birthday,
now
Debs.
That I know you can give. two strikes to Perez.
Yeah, my sister's going to be 38 years old. She is my much older sister, as you know.
Yes.
So a happy birthday.
Boy, it's, you spare no expense. I got to respect that about you. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That just missed.
And the fans wanted that one. Mark Wegner, who's been calling the high strike, thought that was off the plate. And it was. Watch it again. Good eye by Perez.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Now it's full at 3-2. Drama in Montreal. Greg Maddux left the game leading 4-1. Jarrett Wright is on now. The Expos have scored and they've got him first and third. Rolled to the right side. Grudzielanek will watch the runner move to third. But Perez is out number 2 with Piazza up. Piazza struck out and flied out.
Mike Piazza's a pretty smart hitter. He's, I'm sure, observed the fact that a lot of his teammates are jumping on the first ball fastball. And so for Mark Pryor, he wants to make sure he puts this in a perfect spot. Piazza is enormously strong with good straightaway power. And that was a real good pitch. The curveball down and out of the zone. Paul Bacco saved a run. That one could have easily gone to the bricks.
1 strike to Piazza.
Pryor does have 9 wild pitches. That's really the sign of a guy with a real hard breaking ball. The good ones are thrown in the dirt a lot.
That one over the inside corner, and Piazza couldn't pull the trigger.
If you throw that face-high fastball again, that's the end of this at bat. Let's see what Paul Bacco has in mind.
Jammed him, may have broken his bat. Simon can't make a play. And Piazza indeed needs a new war club. There's John Franco, longtime relief specialist in the major leagues. Maybe the final go-round for John Franco in Major League Baseball this year.
He fought his way back. Different role these days. One of the premier closers in the history of this game. Now relegated to a setup role. And he's actually had a pretty good year.
2 strikes to Piazza. 1-2. Phillies are absolutely killing Florida tonight. 14-0. I think the Phillies have outscored the Eagles already today. 1-2 count. Down goes Piazza. Pryor has his 8th. He's qualified for the win. 3-1 Cubs heading to the middle of our 5th inning.
At Leader Automotive, we don't follow, we lead. Our #1 priority is to give you the best car buying experience possible. You can feel the difference the moment you walk into one of our dealerships. And it's not just selling you a car, it's following it up with world-class customer service. That's what leaders do. That's the Leader Automotive Group. Come visit us or go to leaderauto.com.
Leader Automotive Group, together we lead.
What gets you out of bed in the morning? For me, it's you. I love helping my neighbors. My dream is to help you realize yours. You're my neighbors, my friends. So for me, banking is so personal.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. A tranquil lake, a serene sky, an emerald forest, a secret hideout. Thanks for being there, just when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs.
Get 1.9% APR for 60 months on a new CHR, RAV4, Venza, or Highlander. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Kenny Lofton with yet another first inning run scored for the Cubs tonight. With this Cub pitching staff, those early runs, Steve, really are demoralizing to the opposition. It's tough to come back from early deficits against the likes of Pryor and Wood, Clement.
Well, so should have been out of that first inning. The defense gave the Cubs 5 outs. They took advantage of it by scoring a run without the benefit of a hit. You put Kenny Lofton on to lead off the inning, and normally the Cubs will find a way to score him. And on Mike Piazza, if Lofton gets on, you're going to try to run him out of the ballpark.
Wow, Lofton's shocked that wasn't called a strike. I think Piazza's surprised too. Kenny stood there thinking it was a 3-1 count. Instead, it's ball 4.
Mark Wegner said it's up and out of the zone. Now keep your eye on Lofton. If you're Art Howe, you probably think about a pitch out first pitch. There's a look at Art. He knows that this is the Cub running attack. Lofton swiped 29, 11 as a Cub, been thrown out 4 times.
Art not too happy with Mr. Wegner so far tonight. No movement, strike on a foul ball back. Out of play by Grudzielanek.
So's got pretty quick feet on his move, but his move has very little deception.
One strike pitch.
And the difference is with a left-hand pitcher, they depend on deception on their pickoff move. A right-hand pitcher depends on quickness.
Lofton, one of the few Cubs that had seen So before tonight's ball game, was 0 for 3 against him. Now, unless he had a walk in that game, he's never been to first base against the man pitching for New York. So he's still measuring off and getting a good look at the So move to first. Not going. And Grudzielanek shoots that ball toward left field. That ball's going to drop in front of Perez. Lofton, big turn, can't advance. First and second with nobody out for Sosa, who's already homered tonight. Mark Grudzielanek just keeps scorching the ball. 12 for his last 20.
This fastball on the inner portion winds up in left field. And the third time through the order should be real tough for Jay So. He doesn't have particularly good stuff tonight. The Cubs haven't hit him real hard, but they're about ready to do that. Nobody up and throwing in the bullpen yet for the Mets.
Sammy digging in. He looks real comfortable at the plate tonight. A homer, 3 runs batted in. That's a ball away. 1 ball, no strikes. This date in baseball history, Sammy Sosa, you recall, back in that magical 1998 season, hit a milestone home run. Shot to left center field. Perez on the run, still going. He's there, makes the grab. Lofton will tag from second and move to third on a laser beam, a line drive out.
The bullpen up and going for the Mets. Vern Rule, the pitching coach, realizing that Jay So might be running out of magic. This is the changeup away, and Sammy gets it off the end of the bat. And he knows he didn't get it. Wisely, Lofton tags up. But you get that throw into second base, you keep the double play in order. And Moises has been right on the ball twice.
He's lined to left and singled, and the home run of which I was speaking for Sosa. A grand slam against Brian Boehringer. That was his 63rd home run that season. Cubs beat the Padres by a 6-3 score. In fact, Sammy drove in all 6 runs that day. Similar story here tonight. He's hit the only Cub home run and has driven in all 3 for Dusty Baker in tonight's middle game of this series. First and third for Alou. Ooh, says the crowd. We saw enough of that from last night's start. Jeremy Griffiths used that move an awful lot.
It worked equally well last night.
Exactly. One ball, no strikes. Toronto sends Detroit to another defeat. That's 112 on the year. White Sox trailing in Minnesota 4-0 after 4. Minnesota up a half game in the Central. 1-0 pitch to Alou. Check swing roller. Lofton holds. The throw to second is in time. Crowd thought that Garcia came off the bag, and with 1 out, Lofton didn't move. Now Dusty's going to come out and argue the call of Chuck Merriweather out at second base.
We'll take another look at it. Moises with an excuse me swing. It looked like he had his foot on the bag long enough.
We've seen guys called out with a whole lot less contact than that at second base. And it looks to me like Merriweather got the call absolutely right. First and third, 2 outs for Simon. Heads up play by So too.
Well, he took a look at third and froze Lofton and then went to second base. Most unusual. Pitcher usually goes to first, but he opened the door for a big inning. Unfortunately for the Cubs, Garcia made a nice play.
So they're at first and third for Simon. Randall sends that sizzler out of play.
Well, this is a big at bat for Randall Simon because you start out the inning first and second, nobody out, and you can't come up empty here.
Big emotional swing, perhaps. 1-1 pitch. Line down the third base line, and Lofton tries to dig himself a hole over at third base. Did that get him?
No, I think he got out of the way, but I think the quick movement, he might have hurt himself. Kenny Lofton went down to try to avoid contact, and he comes up gimpy. This is a rocket in foul territory, and Lofton taking his lead in foul territory. Getting down in a hurry, you can't blame him there. And he appears that he's going to be okay.
It almost looked like he did a hurdler stretch, trying to limbo out of the way of that laser beam foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Cub first baseman Randall Simon, hitting here in the 5th. Ground ball to the shortstop. Funny hop. Valandia, though, flips to second, and the Cubs indeed do come up empty in the 5th inning. They're booing Chuck Merriweather, but the umpire at second, to our way of thinking, made the right call, and the Cubs maintain a 3-1 lead.
Look, we get it. We get that it's more than a team. We get that it's Harry and Carey and Billy and Murray and catching balls and throwing them back. And we get the stress, the goats, and the scapegoats. But we also get what it's like to win and the expectations that come with it. We get it because we are it, and we obsess over it just like you, which is why we get you all the games, pre-games, post-games, interviews, and behind the scenes we can get. Because we get it. All of it.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
Are you ready? Let's hit play. Remember being spontaneous? Let's do that. Get-togethers are back. Let's have lots of those. Still working in your PJs? No judgments here. Let's live for every moment. Let's embrace our health and wellness. And together, let's live well. Advocate Aurora Health.
It's time for a talk. If you're 45 or older, you need to get yourself screened for colon cancer. This disease can be very treatable when caught early, so the sooner you know what's up with your health, the better. The good news is that there's options for getting screened that are easier than you think. Get informed. If you're a man or a woman, 45 or older, take control. Get screened for colon cancer. Standuptocancer.org/colon cancer.
Hey there, Cubs fans. I'm Cole Wright, your host of the Cubs Weekly podcast presented by Wintrust. Each week, we'll break down the biggest storylines paired with exclusive interviews to get you set for the week ahead. Download and subscribe on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and do it today. Go to MarqueeSportsNetwork.com, your destination for the most comprehensive Cubs coverage. Watch in-depth interviews, catch amazing highlights, and get exclusive access to your team at MarqueeSportsNetwork.com.
Jason Phillips leads off the 6th inning for the New York Mets. Phillips, a good night at the plate. He's 2 for 2.
And he's jumped on a first ball fastball. And wisely, Pryor goes to the hook.
Will Phillips be the everyday catcher for the Mets at some point next year? We talked a lot about Mike Piazza trying to catch Carlton Fisk.
Well, he will catch him, and he will do it in the not too distant future.
That one driven down the right field line. Long run for Sosa, slowing now. 1 man down. Piazza needs 4 home runs to tie Fisk. And 351 home runs as a catcher.
And then when that happens, they'll talk it over with Mike Piazza, I'm sure. And I think if you want Piazza for a long period of time, and the Mets certainly do that, that the shift to first base, which is not an easy position, but it's a lot easier on your body. And that eventually, I think, will be his destiny.
Well, we saw Craig Biggio. Don't misunderstand, they're much different players. Biggio made the transformation from a catcher to a second baseman, now to an outfielder. And the thinking was for the Astros, Biggio, a guy that could really run and a terrifically gifted athlete. Not that you're wasting his skills behind the plate, but the punishment that that catcher takes on a daily basis maybe diminishes those skills and shortens the amount of time he'll be able to use them. Mets might be thinking the same thing down the road with Piazza. Extend his career offensively by getting him away from the tools of ignorance. And And there is the second out as Wigginton is victim number 9 for Mark Pryor.
This shows you just how good Mark Pryor is. He hasn't had his great stuff tonight, and yet the Mets, although they've hit a few balls hard, they still can't figure out that curveball, and they're swinging at pitches a good 2 feet out of the zone. So from the Southwest Airlines Plainview camera, we'll take a look at a good play by Bacco. And Mark Pryor keeps rolling right along.
Let's see if he can get Valendia. The pesky shortstop's been on base twice. They're in the 4th inning in Colorado. Astros and Rockies still tied at 1. Todd Hilton an RBI single for Colorado. Richard Hidalgo a homer for Houston, and he has been tearing the cover off the ball of late for the Stros.
And there's a look at the mound opponent of Mark Pryor, Jay So. And folks, you're watching Mark Pryor in the infancy stages of what will be a spectacular career.
He's got double digits in strikeouts. 3 up, 3 down in the 6th inning. Cubs lead it 3-1. As Ramirez hits a towering fly ball to right field. That should be caught, and it is by Cedeno. And he slams into the ivy and gets a dousing as well. 1 out.
This one just missed going out. Cedeno goes all the way back, and whoever does that should be thrown out of the ballpark. There's no excuse for that.
Here's Ramon Martinez. He's 0 for 2. No swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1. Phillies beat the Marlins 14-0. Final score.
The wild card race is getting awfully close.
Phillies are a half game back now. Dodgers are only 2.5 back.
Dodgers are only a game back in the loss column, and they have far and away the best pitching in the league. And they have one thing with Smoltz out now that nobody else has, and that's an automatic at the end of the game. Eric Gagne has been letter perfect.
Arizona, you see, in Los Angeles, Schilling against Kaz Ishii tonight at Chavez Ravine. That one popped up back toward us and unplayable for Piazza. 3-2. Bacco waits on deck. Look out. Down on strikes is Martinez. The only thing he hit was a fan sitting in the 3rd row. Is everybody okay?
That one just missed John Madigan.
He'd be a good guy to miss hitting with a bat.
Well, he's got some pretty good seats. I will say that.
He must know somebody. Strike 1 to Paul Bacco. That's off the plate to the Cubs catcher.
Well, the Mets about hit the Cubs tonight, and you got to give Sosa a little credit. He didn't have the best stuff coming out. The Cubs took advantage of him in the third inning. He wiggled off the hook last inning. And so far, Mark Pryor is making those 3 runs hold up. But it's a tenuous lead at best. So will be taken down for a pinch hitter next inning.
He's due up second. The 1-2 pitch to Baco. Missed the corner by an eyelash. And Baco is down on strikes. That off-speed stuff from So has been real tough so far tonight. The Cubs, though, have a 3-1 lead heading to the top of our 7th.
They say in life that timing is everything. How being in the right place at the wrong time can tragically change your life. Because a truck driver is texting or watching videos instead of paying attention. And when that happens, timing is more critical than ever to preserve the electronic evidence before it gets wiped away. If you're the victim of negligence, call one of the most successful and experienced injury lawyers around. Kenneth Allen Law Group. Call before your time runs out.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 compromise.
Matthew Watson is on. He'll bat for Duncan, leading off the New York 7th. They're down just 2 runs. Pryor has struck out 10. And the Cubs need to hang on and win this game. For the Astros in pretty good shape. Adam Everett, the right-hitting shortstop in the rarefied air of Coors Field, has just hit a 3-run homer. So Houston leads the Rockies 4-1 in the 4th.
Now, we talked about the Rockies needing a whole lot of runs tonight. And I'm thinking for the Astros, holding him to 8 would be a good trick.
They are swinging the bats exceptionally well. I told you they're getting 6-7 runs a game, it seems, every single time they take the field.
Well, as long as you know, Chip, that's a team that has been through it before a number of times.
True.
And they're going to heat it up, but they will also run into the Cardinals in St. Louis this weekend.
And they've got the Giants back in Houston as Watson goes out of the strike zone. 11 punch outs for Pryor. The Cardinals still feel like they're alive. They're 5 out entering play tonight.
Watson was swinging at everything out of the zone, and Mark Pryor took advantage of his aggressiveness, and he went down on strike.
So here's Tom Glavine's brother, Michael Glavine. He hits for So, who struck out 6 in his 6 innings of work.
So with a pretty good outing. And here comes Ronald Santo. He warns me that Pat Hughes is also coming.
Do they wear coordinating shirts?
No, I think Ronnie actually paid for his.
Now see, they look very coordinated for radio.
Indeed.
Glavin down. That's 12 strikeouts for Mark Pryor. We're a little bit past the top of the hour. Let's quickly pause for station identification.
Mark Pryor has fanned 5 of the last 6 men he's faced. And guys, this is just like radio except for the cameras. So here, Ronnie, I'll let you can look at the screen there. I know at times on the road they don't have the video to your liking, but here we got video till the cows come home here. I got to tell you that.
It's kind of nice not giving Ronnie a chance to respond with an open microphone. You can take your shots and just sort of.
This is the best he's sounded in years.
Absolutely. 2 balls, no strikes. Ground ball toward first. Simon with a nice pickup. And Ronnie, it's time to sing. Cubs leading 3-1 in the middle of our 7th inning here at Wrigley Field in Chicago.
Steve Stone, Pat Hughes, and Ron Santo.
Out Ron Santo, number 10, retire. All right, let me hear you. This is for the Chicago Cubs this year. What a job they're doing. So let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I have to. Oh, let's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, at the old ball game.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
Ready, set, let's go! Remember playing with friends? Let's do that. Outside fun with family? More of that, please. Mom's still wearing PJs. That's awesome. Glad we're all staying healthy. Grandpa seems happier too. Together, let's live well. Advocate Aurora Health.
A former Cub leads off the bottom of the 7th inning after a very stirring radio version of Take Me Out to the Ball Game by the voice of the Cubs, Pat Hughes, and his sidekick. I guess we have to call him Mr. now, Ron Santo. Welcome, boys.
Hey, Chip. Hey, Steve. How you guys doing?
Just great.
Just great.
This was very nice. I will say both of you guys, along with Pat, have a much nicer voice than mine. I have to admit that.
Not tonight, I don't think.
Not tonight. We've got the seasonal allergy problem going on over here.
You got it.
Ground ball toward third. Deep is Wigginton. Long throw across, and Pryor will leg out an infield hit. How about this year, boys? This has been some kind of ride.
And I think it's going to get even more exciting here, Chip, the final 10 to 12 days. I know you guys are keeping an eye on the scoreboard. Houston leading Colorado now 4-1, bottom of the fourth. But Cubs just have to take care of their own business right here at Wrigley Field.
Okay, Ronnie, let's talk about last night. The fourth inning, your number is retired. You're sitting there, and all of a sudden we hear Paul Friedman on the public address system acknowledge the fact to the fans they gave you a phenomenal reception. For you, was that one of the highlights of your life?
Oh, absolutely. When I heard when they told me that my number was going to be retired, that was a highlight of my life. But last night in the fourth inning, when they introduced me and I stood up, I couldn't believe it. I sat down to catch my breath, and they made me have an encore and stand up again. And when I sat back, I think Patrick will admit it's the first time I was speechless, because I'm very seldom speechless.
High fly ball into center field. Timo Perez moved from left to center, and he'll make the first put out of the seventh inning.
Well, share with our fans what you said when you went into the office and you saw all of the executives sitting around, and you weren't quite sure what was going to happen.
I was in the office, Steve, and John McDonough said, meet me here. I got a couple guys I want you to meet. And I'm sitting there for 3 minutes, and all of a sudden, Dennis Fitzsimons walks in, and then Andy McPhail, and then Jim Henry, and then John, and then Mark McGuire. And, you know, I know them all very well. And so I said, okay, what's going on? And John says, we all like to get together when we're having somebody, when somebody may be leaving. And so I said, well, if I'm leaving, you might as well shoot me.
Now, did they also explain that there was some fine print with the number being retired?
No, they didn't.
Yeah, well, there is. There is going to be a four-man booth for the radio in the postseason. Now, I thought this would be a most opportune time to bring that up, Ronnie. I mean, seeing as how you and Steve seemingly have bonded these last several minutes.
A two-person booth. That'll be Patrick and me.
You guys should know, before Ronnie came over.
Fair ball down the left field line. Pryor around second. He's on his way to third. Grudzielanek, I'll tell you what, he's hitting everything. Grudzielanek, 13 hits in his last 21 at-bats. That's unbelievable production.
So, Pat, as you were saying?
I was saying, Steve, that Ronnie smells very good. He put cologne on before this television appearance. I'm not sure why. Ronnie, why was that?
Well, you know, I'm coming over here to TV booth, and of course, you know, it's the blue collar in the radio booth. But when you get a TV booth, you got to smell good, you know? You got to look good and smell good.
Well, you've heard of high-definition television. This is smell-o-vision. So it's a good thing that you did, in fact, freshen up before you came over.
Here comes Sammy. He's homered tonight. That's infield in. Oh, what a play at first by Phillips. He fell down and fielded the ball with a bare hand, and that's going to retire Sosa for the second out. He's played first base like the catcher he is tonight, but he made a terrific play that time.
You know, you talk about Grudzielanek. I like to say something. You talk about a move that Jim Henry has made with Eric Karros and, of course, Grudzielanek, and then getting Ramirez and Lofton and Simon at first. I mean, it has been unbelievable, and I really, truly believe this is going to be the year. But Grudzielanek's been the fire plug of this ball club.
Well, there's no question, and Ronald has the enormity of the fact that there's only been 3 numbers in the history of the Cubs retired sunk in yet, because you're in one of the most select groups that anybody could ever be in. Imagine how long the Cubs have been playing baseball. They've retired 3 numbers, and number 10 is now one of them.
And without being in the Hall of Fame, and I said this yesterday, Steve, when they told me my number was going to be retired, to me, that was the Hall of Fame. I really don't care what happens any longer. That's what I've been working for all my life, because Chicago is where I started. And, you know, I was asked, what comes first, the Hall of Fame or a Cubs World Series? No doubt in my mind, a Cubs World Series. No doubt.
Well, they just announced the attendance. Who won the attendance game? 39-5-34.
Yes.
Back to the mound. Finally, Santo wins in the attendance game. Pat, Ronnie, you guys do a great job on WGN Radio. It's great to see you guys, and let's keep this Cubby bandwagon rolling.
Thanks a lot.
And as always, Ronnie, congratulations. We love you both. 3-1 our score. We go to the 8th.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration experts, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out today because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who texts GREAT to 642-642. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text GREAT to 642-642. Ask about the Bosley Guarantee. That's GREAT to 642-642.
Hey Cubs fans, it's time for an Icons of the Ivy Hall of Fame Spotlight, presented by Miller Lite.
Over 2,200 players, coaches, and managers have worn the Cubs uniform, but only one person has earned the title of Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. Ernie played 19 seasons on the North Side, racking up Hall of Fame numbers, and was a first ballot Hall of Famer in 1977. More important than his numbers, however, was his social impact on the game and the city he loved. In 1953, Ernie Banks integrated the Chicago Cubs, becoming the first African American to play for the team. For the next 60 years, Ernie was an ambassador for the city, the ballpark, the Cubs, and for the game he loved. Ernie was a 14-time All-Star and was a back-to-back MVP winner in 1958 and 1959. Ernie's number 14 flies from the flagpole at Wrigley Field, the first such player honored in Cubs history.
We hope you enjoyed this Hall of Fame Spotlight, presented by Miller Lite.
Two, three, four spots up for the Mets in the 8th inning. Mark Pryor has punched out 12 tonight before a huge crowd of 39,534, giving the Cubs an attendance record here in 2003.
Afternoon game tomorrow, still seats available. And a great pitching matchup. Kerry Wood, Al Leiter for the Mets.
Check swing. Did he go? Apparently so. Garcia down 2 strikes.
Well, you've got to retire Garcia. You've got 3 and 4. And you don't want to face Piazza with anybody on base in the number 4 spot. The appeal? Gary Cedarstrom said he did go around.
0-2 to Garcia, 1 for 3 tonight. And that's exactly what Pryor didn't want to do. And Garcia shakes it off and hustles down to first. Pryor hits the leadoff man in the 8th.
That was a rolling breaking ball that got away from him and got him high on the left arm. So with nobody out and 1 on, you automatically face a tying run in what has been a very tough and tight ball game all night.
So Perez 0 for 3 bats here in the 8th inning. Mark Pryor with 12 strikeouts in our game tonight. In case you wondered, that is not his career high. 16 is his career high. This is, however, the 11th time he struck out 10 or more men. As he approaches 110, the Cub bullpen starts to stir down the left field line. Timo Perez, a ball and a strike. Double play ball. One there, two there. That's a pitcher's best friend. Two outs.
Good pivot at the bag by Ramon Martinez. Grudzielanek got a firm throw to him. You know that Garcia is going to be coming in hard. Martinez pushing off the bag. And the key for you young players out there, get your feet off the ground before the contact. You get the throw off. Martinez and Grudzielanek did it perfectly. And now you get a chance to face Piazza with nobody on base.
Piazza 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, and he hits that one into straightaway center field. Lofton is there, and Pryor is through 8 with 12 strikeouts and a 3-1 lead.
Hi, I'm Deborah. I'm from Colorado. I've been married to my high school sweetheart for 35 years. I'm a mother of 4, always busy. I was starting to feel a little foggy. I just didn't feel like things were as sharp as I knew they once were. I heard about Prevagen, and then I started taking it about 2 years now. Started noticing, seemed a little sharper, a little clearer, and I feel like it's kept me on my game. I am able to remember things and say, give it a try.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
I've been an injury attorney for almost 40 years, so I've seen firsthand how lives are changed in a single moment. And it makes you compassionate for those families who are the heart and soul of our community. Which is why I fund thousands of dollars every year to support our teachers, provide reading programs and after-school care for kids, food programs for the hungry, clothing and toys for needy children. When your life's goal has been to help those who've been seriously harmed by negligence, for me, it's just one more way to give back.
Steve Stone, Chip Carey, bottom of the 8th inning. Simon up, and a new pitcher on for New York.
It's Orber Moreno. And he comes into this one coming out of the Kansas City Royal organization. Signed as a free agent. And Moreno, in just his 5th game, only 4 innings of work. And it looks like Mark Pryor has already told Dusty Baker and Larry Rothschild that he's got something left, because nobody is up in the bullpen.
That's off the plate to Simon. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Cubs would dearly love at least one, maybe another insurance run. Give Mark Pryor a little room to work.
Ground ball to the shortstop. Alondia has played very well over there, and he takes care of Simon for the first out. One away in the 8th. Want to wish happy birthday to Gina Marie LaVirgin. She's 10 years young today. And David Fleeta, 6 years young today, the son of Oneri Fleeta, the minor league director for the Cubs, and watching the game here in Chicago tonight. And thanks as well to Linda Dillman and the good folks at Bernie's right across the street from Wrigley Field. They've put together some nifty looking t-shirts honoring Ron Santo with Ronnie's number 10 on the back.
And the proceeds will go to a great charity, one dear to the heart of Ron Santo. All proceeds from the shirts will go to JDRF, chapter of Chicago, for Ron Santo's request. And Ronnie has raised, during the course of his career and his time in Chicago, a whole lot of money to fight diabetes.
So great cause. As we thank Linda and the gang at Bernie's for putting together the shirts. They were hard at work on them last night once the Cubs made the announcement. And the shirt says Bernie salutes Chicago legend Ron Santo, and can't think of a more apt way of describing Mr. Santo. 2 outs.
Well, tonight, two of the toughest outs in the lineup for Mark Pryor, and there hasn't been many, but Cedeno's been one. The other one has been Jason Phillips, and it'll be Phillips leading off the 9th inning.
Martinez at shortstop 0 for 3 here tonight. Very well pitched ball game, especially by that man who, I mean, heck, you hate to say he struggled, but we're so used to seeing Pryor just out and out dominate people that you look up and down your scorecard tonight, you see, all right, he struck out 12 guys. He's given up 6 hits and 1 run, that on a home run, but he didn't have his great stuff apparently.
No, but his stuff has gotten better as the game has moved along, which is a sign of a guy at the late stages of this season who has, number one, a great gift, and number two, who's figured it out at an early age. This is start number 28, and he's thrown 196 innings.
And he has a chance to go 10 games over 500.
Indeed he does.
And it's base on balls with 2 out. Friends, this Sunday on Push for the Playoffs, our pregame special, Dan Roan goes one-on-one with tonight's starting pitcher Mark Pryor. The 3 former Pirates talk about their impending return to Pittsburgh, and a fun game. Can you spell Grudzielanek? We'll have it all on Sunday beginning at high noon, right before the Cubs and Pirates here on WGN at 12:30. Womack runs for Martinez.
Tony Womack is most likely in there for one thing, and that's to steal a base. Piazza looking in the dugout. He wants to see if they want a pitch out. And now the bullpen up and going for the Cubs. And it's a familiar face. Joe Borowski.
Baco 0 for 3. Pops it up on the infield. Valandia will drift out. And the left fielder Watson nearly ran him over, but the infielder makes the grab. And that'll retire the side. On we go to the 9th. Cubs leading 3-1.
Well, look here. He's playing DraftKings Showdown. Let's pick a captain.
Well, analyzing everything from historical pick 6 status to if the head coach wears a windbreaker, I say defense.
Kickers don't score enough. And I'll thumb wrestle anyone who disagrees.
How many career points did you score, Adam Vinatieri?
More than any NFL player ever.
How do you get a mic? I don't even have a mic.
Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app and feel the NFL action like never before.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
At UI Health, we know a safer future is a healthier future, which is why we're continuing research on COVID treatments and therapies, keeping our patients safe while they receive care, and bringing the vaccine to more people and more communities. Chicago, a healthier future is on the horizon. Let's get there together. Learn more at uihealth.care.
Can you take the Hyundai for an oil change?
Everybody hates chore day. Don't choose between your favorite team and servicing the car. We'll pick it up. But that's not all we offer. At Elgin Hyundai, we have double America's best warranty, covering any new vehicle purchased. A 20-year, 200,000-mile powertrain warranty at no additional cost.
You're back.
Chore day's not so bad. Be a customer for life at Elgin Hyundai.
You're gonna like buying a car this way.
tonight's attendance is 39,534. With tonight's attendance of 39,534, the Chicago Cubs have established an all-time team attendance record of 2,844,087 fans. The Chicago Cubs organization says thank you to the greatest fans in baseball.
Jason Phillips jumps on the first pitch in the ninth inning and lines to right. And we echo the sentiments of Paul Friedman, the public address announcer here at Wrigley Field. And congratulations to the Cubs organization, John McDonough, Jay Blunk, Jim Hendry, Andy McPhail, everybody for making this season so spectacular for us and for the fans. 2.8 million people here at Wrigley Field with 4 regular season home dates remaining. 1 out for Wigington.
1 pitch, 1 out. More importantly, as Borowski continues to throw, Dusty Baker is going to give Mark Pryor every opportunity to finish what he started. And it would be complete game number 4, and that would give him the staff lead.
Leader in Major League Baseball for complete games is a man we just saw. Livan Hernandez has 7 of them. Ground ball toward the hole. Alex Gonzalez just checked in. Long throw and not in time. Wigington aboard on an infield hit. Great effort at short from Alex Gonzalez.
Alex with the Don Kessinger jump pass from the hole. And Simon can't hang on. Would have been safe at first anyway. What an effort on both ends. And here comes Larry Rothschild. He wants to tell him about Tony Clark and the 6'7" power hitting pinch hitter has got 16 home runs, 12 from the left side, and he's hit 2 as a pinch hitter this year with 9 runs batted in.
So Pryor trying to tie Javier Vasquez at the Expos with his 4th complete game. Schmidt, Millwood, and Morris each with 5 behind Livan Hernandez.
You can tie up Clark inside. He's got very long arms. He's got a big long swing, and he can't catch up to the fastball on the inner portion, but you have to keep it up.
Clark represents the tying run for New York. Breaking ball to Dander.
Clark doesn't have great speed. Has grounded into 8 double plays.
Swing and a miss. Two down. 13 for Pryor.
Larry Rothschild went out there and told him, when you go get him with the high fastball. And he threw it right by him.
Way outside to Watson. 1 ball, no strikes. Mets have 2 hits since the 4th inning. 2 balls, no strikes. Capacity crowd on its feet. It's 2-1 to Watson. Wood and Leiter tomorrow at 1 o'clock here on WGN Sports. We'll have the award-winning leadoff man program. It wraps up the 6-game homestand. Cubs are 2 strikes away from going for another sweep. Now they are 1 strike away from winning the 2nd game. Houston at the moment leading 4-1 after 4 in Colorado. The Cardinals find themselves in a 1-run game at home with Milwaukee, 6-5. The Cubs cannot control their destiny with regards to Houston. All they can do is win and hope they get some help. Pryor's held up his end of the bargain tonight. Fly ball, left center field, tailing away from Lofton. Kenny going, he can't get it, it's off the ivy. Matt Galante is going to wave home Wigginton. He will score without a throw, and it's a 1-run game, and the tying run in scoring position with 2 outs. And Raul Gonzalez is going to hit.
This low fastball slicing away from Lofton in left center field. Gets it the long run. He can't get to it. And here comes Dusty Baker. I would think he'd go to Borowski. He might consult with Pryor and see what he has left. Not even a consult. Here comes Joe.
So Pryor 8 2/3 tonight. 8 hits, 2 runs so far, 1 home run, 13 strikeouts, and 1 walk, 1 standing ovation. Borowski on to try to save it in the ninth. A 3-2 score. Mark Pryor hoping to win his 16th. Borowski looking for his 30th save.
Joe's got to come in and nail down the last out in this his 65th appearance. He inherits a man at second, 2 outs. And he'll face Raul Gonzalez.
A hit could mean a run. And that missed the outside corner. 1 ball, no strikes.
This is a matchup you want to get. You don't want to go to the righty-lefty matchup with Cedeno in the on-deck circle.
Out of play. Thanks to our great WGN crew tonight. Our producer Pete Toma, Skip Ellison, our director, our associate producer Mark Brady, Bob Vorwald, our executive producer of WGN Sports. Thanks as always to our AD in the booth, young Caesar Eric Welch, and our studio coordinator Kathy Gruber Jones. 3-2 now, Cubs leading. 1 out to get in the top of the ninth. One and 2. This place 1 strike away from erupting. Gonzalez stays alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Watson measuring off a very big lead out at second base.
Gonzalez makes a lot of contact. You've worked him with 4 sliders away. Nice time to jam him with the inside fastball. You might just get that pop up that ends it.
The 2-2 is high and tight. Don't forget the award-winning WGN News will follow us. Dan Roan will have live reports from the ballpark as the Cubs again need a strike. 3-2. Ball 4. 2 are on with 2 out, and you got to face Cedeno. So Borowski now has to face Cedeno, a much better hitter from the left side of the plate than the right, and he's hit a home run already. That was back in the 3rd inning. Houston leads 8-2 in the 5th inning in Colorado, by the way. They got 4 more in the 5th inning. The Dongos hit 2 home runs. All high, 1-0. One ball, 1 strike. White Sox trailing in the bottom of the 8th inning in Minnesota, 5-1. Minnesota trying to open a 1.5 game lead in the AL Central. The Cubs, it would appear, hoping to keep pace with Houston. Big leads at first and second. The 1-1 is low. Ball 2. Can't be in a playoff position. The next best thing is to spoil it for the other guy who is, and that's what the Mets are trying to do here with the 9th inning uprising. 2-2. Home run cut. And the Cubs hang on and win it. Mark Pryor, 10 over 500. Save number 30 for Joe Borowski. And on a record-setting attendance night at Wrigley Field in Chicago, the Cubs have posted the W. Now it's your serve, Houston, at Coors Field in Denver.
Joe Borowski had used that backdoor slider all year long. He froze Cedeno with it. And the Cubs earn a hard-fought 1-run win.
So Mark Pryor 16-6. He's the winner. Jay So falls to 8-12. Borowski's 30th save finishes the game 3-2. Your final score. Pryor pumps. So are the Cubs, who've won their 81st game of this 2003 season.
That does it for this edition of Cubs Classics presented by Prevagen. Thanks for watching.